Hi, my name is Mike Ward. I'm the Global Director of Content at Scrip, Pink Sheet and in Vivo. I'm here at the Biotech Showcase 2018, a meeting that takes place in parallel with the JP Morgan Healthcare Conference, which is the traditional kickoff meeting for the pharmaceutical industry to discuss some of the issues that it faces, but it's also an opportunity for pharmaceutical companies to meet with biotechs and also with investors and see how they can sort of collaborate and work with each other. Obviously, one of the hottest areas at the moment is in the oncology space, and people are looking for how many different ways that they can actually sort of tackle the war on cancer. I'm joined by Niall Martin, who's the CEO of a UK biotech startup, Artios, in the DNA repair space. So Niall, so how important is sort of DNA repair in that oncology arsenal?
Oh, it's massive. Basically, a lot of tumours utilise DNA repair and DNA damage as a mechanism to become a tumour. So it's one of the hallmarks of becoming a tumour. And therefore, if you can understand that and understand what that tumour becomes reliant on in terms of its DNA repair capacity, then by switching off certain processes within the cell, you can actually selectively kill that cell. And an example of that, Mike, was the PARP inhibitors in the BRCA deficient backgrounds that are now, on the market and doing really well.
Sure. So the approach that you're taking, where did it originate?
So we've been working in DNA repair for many years, and there's been a lot of new information and targets coming through the system from academia. They haven't been translated into the pharmaceutical world, and the success of the PARP inhibitors identifies that there is a real gap and a real understanding of actually taking those targets into the clinic. So the targets that we've picked up on have come through the Cancer Research UK process of the sort of fundamental research that has been done within the Cancer Research UK, and we've translated that into a biotech to take those into the clinic and actually drug them and take them into the clinic.
Right. Okay. So what is sort of the current status of your programs?
So we're in lead optimization in chemistry. I mean, the fundamental thing about DNA repair and inhibiting DNA repair is that you need to try and get small molecule inhibitors to really show the biology. It's a big learning that we've had in many years of working in the space. So we are in those chemistries with tool compounds where we are able to do the molecular biology and really understand, how potent they could be in terms of selectively killing tumor cells.
Right. So it's still pretty early.
Still pretty early. Yes, it's still pretty early. I mean, there's been a gap in the sort of market with DNA repair. The PARP inhibitors, have been now on the market for 2 or 3 years, and there's several of them coming through. But behind that, the research sort of tailed off within the drug discovery area. But academically, there was still a lot of research going on. So that hasn't been translated into those new products, which is where Artios comes in to take that in.
And of course, CR UK doesn't actually do a lot of that translational stuff.
No, they do yes, exactly. They do the initial drug discovery. They'll actually get the ball rolling in some respects, but they're not there to take them and translate them all the way through, and they work with partners to do that. Yeah.
So how are you financed? I mean, you're a startup, so
yes.
Who's on board?
Yeah, so we're financed by a good consortium of venture capital. A strong consortium of venture capital. We raised 25 million in 2016 to get the company up and running.
Pounds or?
Pounds.
Yeah, okay.
And we've got 6 investors in the company led by Schroders.
Okay.
And they've been very supportive of getting the company up and running and actually pushing these projects through into the next phase, which is to get to candidates and then on into clinic.
So you've got Schroders. Do you have any sort of corporate VCs?
We do, yes, we do. We've got Merck Serono Ventures and AbbVie Ventures.
Okay.
And both of those are strategic partners because of their interest within the DNA repair area.
Okay.
So that's very positive.
So that £25 million, what did you tell the investors that they can hope to get for that money?
It's novelty. It's first-in-class DDR products which have a clear line of sight to the clinic, of which you can then select out your patient population. So the power of it is being able to identify those patients up front almost, and therefore you'll get good response rates.
Right.
And that's I think is quite unique within the oncology space still. Even for immune oncology products, they're still a wee bit hit and miss of which patients respond.
So, but would you be expecting to sort of have a package that got into the clinic with that money, or?
Yes, I mean the money's not going to get us all the way to the clinic. The money was just to set the company up, get ourselves a broad set of projects, pipeline. And then from there we're going to go out and raise a Series B, which will then take us into the next phase, so we're quite keen to finance this all the way through to proof of concept in the clinic, on venture capital money.
Right, okay. And then after that, I mean, what are the ambitions for Artios?
The ambitions really are obviously to be a stable company, be a company that survives for a few years. Whether we go then onto an IPO or whether we get a merger acquisition, I mean that's still quite flexible within the company.
But you wouldn't be looking to actually sort of develop your own drugs that you would then commercialise?
No, we're too small as a company. No, we could work in partnership with Big Pharma. Yeah. And obviously that's maybe where we would look at, but certainly once you get into the phase 2s and phase 3s, the expense is just too high. So,
as I mentioned in the introduction, this meeting is all about pharmaceutical companies, biotech companies, investors all talking to each other.
Yes.
So you're here. Who are you trying to talk to at the moment?
I think two things we're trying to do. Obviously, we're trying to look at the next round of finance. So we're starting to speak to investors, potential investors, and US investors as much as European investors. If you are going to go into the future onto a NASDAQ, then it's good to have a US foothold. But we're also warming up pharma because the big pharma will be our customers in the future. Whether we do an IPO or not, they'll still be our customers in terms of taking on projects. So just getting them up to speed of what we're about. And our belief is that the DDR area, the DNA damage response area, could be as big as the immuno-oncology area in some respects because of the novelty of it.
Right, okay. Neil, well thanks very much for stopping by.
Thanks, mate. No.